Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday.
Happy.
I get to
Very
talk with
happy.
my friends. We get to talk about comics. We have some friends in the chat, like our friend Labruski and David, who left me a super kind comment. We got our friends Ryan and Sifar, and Jeffrey. Great to see you all.
And Bat Cato. Don't forget about Bat Cato.
Oh my gosh, dude. I chatted back Cato and I was like, dude, I want to get you on a stream. He used to do his own podcast with his friends, but then after kids, it was kind of hard because he was the idea guy. So I think it'd be fun to do a stream with him where he got to just, enjoy. I love him in book club. He's like one of my always has the funniest comment in book club.
He does
Just
the
like
reading
his
for
Klaus
you, right,
comment.
Jake?
What'd you say?
He
Yeah.
does the reading for you, right?
Oh yes, he does. No. This is fun. Let's we got any hauls to show off? Anyone got any news from the week?
Jordan, why don't you
Ooh.
go? You look like you had a few books you wanted to showcase.
I absolutely wish I could showcase my books. So as you can tell by my background, I'm in the Batcave today. So I don't have access to my entire collection of what I received. So I will be saving those for next week, and we'll do a ginormous haul.
I was about to
But,
say, it's probably going to be a big one.
Did you see the size of his Christmas package, bro?
Yeah, I did.
A big one in two sense of the word, not just as a lot, but goddamn, those books are large. But I do have one book since I'm here at Jake's house, and he has my volume 1 of Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky.
Love that cover.
Gorgeous cover.
Nothing like hearing volume 2 is going out of print for Jordan to freak out and go, I need to get both volumes. He had no urgency to get any of it.
But volume 2 may be in next week, so I don't know. We'll have to find out next week.
Exactly. So.
We asked JP, we were like, hey, do you have any more Damaged volume 2? And JP was like, yeah, we'll send him the worst looking one. But I think he was just joking.
Sounds like someone who's on a fix is like, do you have any more of those volume 2s?
Yeah. With the matching spines, it's got to match. That's a question. If he only had the cover, would you have gone with that cover?
Yeah, I would have gotten it. That's not an issue. I do prefer if the spines match, but it's okay.
Such a fake fan, Jordan.
I mean, no, I needed it.
If it has one little edge missed off of the cover, return it. Ask for a full refund.
Here.
And I get to keep the book too.
I can't say anything about that. I don't want to get in trouble again.
Chris, what did you get?
No.
Well, Jordan, you did some reading this week too. You decided to learn from me and read some modern Daredevil.
So we weren't going to discuss this, but Jake and I have our secret private book club. That's only he and I.
Yeah,
we just started.
Our rule is we'll never make content out of it unless we talk about it like briefly for 2 seconds. But I was like, that's what everything started from, was us reading and talking about things, and it's nice to have like our secret little book club,
So I did do some Daredevil reading. I've only read Silver Age, but now I could say I've read some Modern Age Daredevil by picking up and reading Mark Waid's run.
And he's like, wow, it's like a modern version of the Silver Age that I've read. He didn't have like the Bendis and Brubaker tone shift. So I think he's enjoying that.
It's a lot of fun.
Good.
Chris, you had some special books to show off.
Yep, I was until yesterday afternoon. I was actually having nothing, and then surprised coming in from Asheville, where one of my Kickstarters had come in, and be the art of Mike Grell. Back that Kickstarter from his work. Now, this kind of project was kind of a interesting one, how it came about, because I've backed the Sable runs for Mike Grell, putting out the Sable run in what they're calling their kind of absolute format and oversized format, really releasing John Sable. But they wanted to do this in order to pay for some unfortunate things that happened in Mike's life. His stepson was unfortunately lost his life earlier this year, so there was a lot of bills to come about with that. Mike Grell has also gone through a lot, including recently long medical stints in the hospital. And so this was a campaign to create a book showcasing his artwork. And so they asked a lot of people from the fan community that they had commissions, things from his collection, and they got so many submissions and things like that for the book that it's turned into a volume 1 into a volume 2. So this is the first volume. Volume 2, they saying, should be launching very soon through Kickstarter at this point. But like, it's like I've barely gotten a chance to look at it, but just the history and the storylines from all his work from Warlord, Green Arrow, John Sable, and just you get little kind of stories at some points or another. And this was my lovely mix of freebies that came with, Kickstarter's got to throw in little stretch goals and things like that. So
Did you see the photo that JP shared with us from all the freebies thrown into one box, not organized for GI Joe?
Yeah. Apparently, I guess JP, when did the retailer part of the GI Joe Kickstarter, you get all the extra freebies,
The stretch goals.
Stretch goals. Yeah. So they decided to throw everything in a single box that they had to sort through. So that was quite interesting at this point, but I'm a big supporter. I've like Merrill. I got a chance to interview him for my podcast, World's Finest True Believers. Real true to earth guy. Met him on other occasions. In fact, recently at Heroes Con, a previous Heroes Con, I got both my Longbow Hunters omnibuses signed. But when I'd gone through my haul from that particular con, I noticed one of his signatures was not like fully, like it looked like the ink was running out. I was like, oh man, I wish I'd known that. Well, I took a chance this year, didn't stand in a long line, but I said, hey, I've got a kind of unique thing. I kind of explained the situation, said I'm not trying to sell it or anything like that. And he was like, oh my God, like, let me fix that. And he just like did a whole new signature over it. So again, I'm a Mike Grell fan for life. He's really nice at that point. And if this continues to help him, pay these medical bills off and things like that, I'll gladly do it.
Is there a new omnibus of like a really niche series that he did from back in the day that he was super excited about?
Yes,
like Warlord or something.
Yeah, Warlord is one of the ones that's in the catalog, but it hasn't been solicited yet. So yes, an omnibus is coming supposedly. No date, like I said, it hasn't been out there, but yeah, his entire Warlord collection is coming from DC. It is a very niche one. It's a guy that basically is taken out of time and put into the future, and it's really cool. And so I'm looking forward to picking that up because again, I'm a big fan of Mike Grell, and I know the John Sable series. I've got the first volume. I backed the second volume. Third volume will be releasing in Kickstarter later this year. So I'm a big believer in Kickstarter. If it gets all this stuff out there at that point, do it.
Most definitely. And I think we discussed it previously, but I backed a Kickstarter for December, back in December, which is Jake's Christmas gift that will come out hopefully later this year.
Bone, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Bone Volume 1.
I always think of the Brooklyn Nine-Nine where he freaks out at the concept of first saying the word bone. But shouts out to everyone in the chat. Our good friend of Fifth the Jack. Why is my computer being so laggy? Fifth the Jack. Hello, Jake, Jordan, Chris, and of course, chat. And our friend Richard saying, what's up? I will say that I am doing much better than I was doing last week. I had a pretty chill week this week. Last week was a little stressful. But I've been doing a lot of comic book reading right now. I have a couple books to show off.
Oh, go for it.
One of them I know Chris has seen because he commissioned a private individual Brave and the Boys video just for himself.
I did. Well, commissioned. I said I was curious about it, and I said, I'm a big extras person. I've never been not upfront about that. When he's the one guy that's like, oh my God, did you see the letter pages? And I go, there's letter pages. That's what really got me to really fully go for Aquaman. I love the stories of what the Aquaman I grew up with Peter David, but that the fact that. No, that wasn't it.
It was Green Lantern, Green Arrow, right?
Sorry, yeah, Green Lantern, Green Arrow omnibus, because I was like
hard traveling heroes.
I was not a fan of like the space traveling hero side of it, but the amount of letter pages in there, I was like, oh, now you're speaking my language. I love a good letter page.
Well, yes. So me and my wife did record a video. It was not the same caliber of what we usually release.
And no, he's not putting that out there. He's gonna probably.
Everyone's like, release the Miller cut. Swamp Thing by Mark Miller, which is actually my very first Swamp Thing omnibus. I've only owned Swamp Thing in trade paperback or absolute, so hoping we get more Swamp Thing in omnibus size.
Yep, and that one wraps up the run that was started by Alan Moore and continued by Nancy Collins, and so Miller comes at the end of that particular volume of that run.
I did kind of go through a big ordering spree and kind of ordered a lot of the Swamp Thing Omnis, but they just haven't arrived yet. So I'm trying to, Back Cato's inspiring me to increase my Swamp Thing Omnibus collection.
Those absolutes are some of the coolest absolutes. I know the coloring is controversial. I'm more talking about the cover. What a cool, very cool design on every single Swamp Thing absolute. That mossy finish.
Yeah.
And can I just say that I got my trade paperbacks back from Jordan after he got the absolutes. So you know what? I can read whichever style of color I'm allowed to.
I can too. I kept my trades as well. I wish I would have them in hardback, but that's one of the biggest reasons I've kept the trades if I want to have that option.
If you're going for a retro thing. One book I'm not going to grab, but I'll show you guys. I completed my Taschen set. So I got X-Men, the one that I swore I would never get.
You got to point to it.
Yeah.
No, not Sandman. That's controversial right now. X-Men right there. So, oh my gosh, dude, take the virtual background off. Did you, does my cat jumping on the back of your chair?
She jumped on right now.
Take the virtual background off. That's so cute. Oh my God. I'm taking a screenshot.
That's Sophie.
I'm not a cat person, but I can recognize when cute things happen with cats.
Everyone who's not a cat person always feels that's adorable.
She's my headrest.
That's again, we have a cat. I also have a dog. It's not my cat. It's my wife's cat, and I will continue saying that. I'm just not a cat person.
I was always a dog person because I had dogs growing up. And with my first cat, Vader, when he was a kitten, I there was like this expression I heard where it's like I kept looking at my cat through dog colored glasses, and I had to like unlearn things like the body language and how to interact, because like it's just very different, But what I will say is that I feel like when a cat does show you love and affection, it feels a lot more earned, my dog will just be obsessed over me the second I go back and visit my parents, but like it doesn't ever feel like unique, like
you want to hear something sad?
Oh, I would love to. I don't do this show for joy.
Well, in the sense of it's not gonna make people cry, it's gonna be like, oh. So my wife and kids are out of town. They are in Florida celebrating my mother-in-law's 70th birthday. And yes, I do like my in-laws and everything like that, but there is a personal reason I am not there that I didn't
give him the weekend off. He asked me, he was like, can I please be with my family? And I was like, nah, man, the OPD ship, it needs committed sailors.
So it's a good reason. It has nothing to do with a relationship, but I just have something positive happening right now that I cannot be out of town for. So anyways, I'm on the phone before getting on the stream because I arrived back late and I was like, shoot, I got to get back on. So I'm talking with my wife and she's getting into her van and we're on speaker, and you can hear the beeping of the van door closing to let people know get out so you don't get crushed by the trunk.
Yep.
My dog Bella hightails it to the garage door because she knows that sound and thinks my wife is home.
Oh.
And so I had to open the door, and she runs out and she's like, "Why do I hear that sound and they're not here?"
Oh, my heart.
I felt so bad. So.
We did get some comments if we want to jump on over real quick, Jake.
Not me trying to send my wife the picture of my cat on the chair.
That she's in the same room.
If I was an admin, I would do it, but
sorry, I made it Chris for the
if Chris is an admin, Chris can go through.
I can?
Yeah, no, you're an admin. If you're logged into the right thing. Sorry, dude, my computer's being so laggy right now.
I'm not.
Oh my god.
No, I'm on the left.
Ooh.
That was me trying to move my window. Guys, please bear with me. I'm having like technical difficulties.
But what I can because we love dead air at this point, I can plug something that I listened to the other day. I know people are really wondering about the whole diamond distribution and everything like that. I heard a great kind of breakdown from if you ever listen to the podcast Word Balloon with John Suntress. He had a recent guest.
Nustress.
Nope, Suntress. And so he had a close friend comic book retailer kind of breaking down everything going on with Diamond. It was really interesting, a lot of different things that we know by working with JP, but some other things I didn't know from like a comic bookstore standpoint of kind of how this is shaping up, what caused it and where it's leading to. So look up Word Balloon with John Suntress looking at the Diamond bankruptcy.
It's a good plug.
Yeah. Dake, have you figured out your issues?
No, I'm gonna dip out for like 2 seconds, and I will be right back. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, we could at least say who's in. So we got FOMO's real. Yep. Bat Cato saying Grell is one of his all-time favorites. FIFA Jack saying hello to everyone. Let's see whatever his pickups are. Richard saying, "What's up, Jake, Jordan, Chris? Hope y'all are well. We are very well." John Platt saying, "Hi and good evening to everyone at Organic Price Books and mods and chat." Bat Cato says the green is good.
Green is good.
Green is good. Yes.
Chris, now it's our show. We take over. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, we take over not having any admin rights because I'm not logged into the right account.
Oh,
so
that's the worst. You're not logged in. He took
I'm
access
logged in
away
through
from
my
me.
podcast network's account. So
We got done
Richard saying, "I just got Batman Battle for the Cowl complete collection in today, and so glad. Just Spider-Man by Joe Kelly is finally coming out next week after all delays." Yes, that has been one that has been very much delayed. It's a year plus, I think. Definitely, it's been over a year before that had come out. James Abel saying, "We all know the reason. You just wanted some quiet time at the house." I will admit this. Father, boy, girl, twins, wife, and everything like that. There's always a time for some quietness at that point. But I will say that after a couple of days, it does not do well for me having such a quiet house. Like I love my family and everything like that, but they will when they go way longer than a couple of days, it's just like, yeah, I need y'all home. It's okay to have like sleeping in's nice. Getting to watch what I want on TV is nice. Getting to come in and out of the house when I want is nice, but it gets old pretty quick. So.
But then you go stir crazy and that's it.
Yeah. Well, good thing is with this thing I'm working on right now, it's keeping me very busy. So I haven't had really time to think about it.
Makes sense.
So, and I see James in the chat putting up the Word Balloon podcast. So yeah, thank you, James.
James, the MVP, man. He always jumps in with the link.
And when you made that change, I can't remember. I think it was sometime last year you made the change with your avatar. At that point, I very appropriate.
100%.
Chair.
I'm blanking on what James's previous avatar was because now I know it's Wade from Kim Possible, but I don't even remember what
it was him.
What was it? Wade last time as well?
It was him.
Oh, was it just James?
Yeah, it was just James.
That's very true then.
Yes.
Very fitting.
BJ and OmniDog told me to change. Well, you are the man in the chair for so many shows.
That's too true.
But yeah.
And I'm back. Everything's working now. Sorry.
Okay, thank God.
Well,
the stream is over. We covered everything. And we actually had a poll while you were out, and they voted you off, Jake.
That's too true.
Oh. It was only by one vote, and Jordan was the deciding vote. So blame Jordan.
I was about to go into my life story, share my deepest, darkest secrets to fill in some airtime, but luckily, Jake jumped back in.
Okay, back to my haul, which is what everyone cares about.
No, actually, what we decided to do instead of your haul, we told people where they're going. You're actually going to give away every single book in your collection if they can tell us like who the alter ego of Bruce Wayne is, and so everyone guessed it right. So you're losing half your collection.
Is the trick question that Bruce Wayne's the alter ego?
No, it's Batman's the alter ego.
Can we talk about the fact that Jordan shipped OmniDog a crowbar? Chad, do you know about this? Jordan legit shipped OmniDog a crowbar.
A foam crowbar.
I thought it was a joke at first. I really thought it was a joke.
No, and he keeps it at the side of his desk and reach at all times. I'm looking into getting Black Widow by Kelly Thompson and Black Wade by Mark Wade. I think Black Widow by Kelly Thompson was one of the best things I read last year. I read it digitally. It is amazing. It just like has a really abrupt ending because it was canceled too soon and heartbreakingly, but it is awesome. And the crowbars for when I get out of line as his Jason Todd, you know.
Well, Batman didn't beat Jason with the crowbar.
I know. I was about to say that would have been a very interesting dynamic.
I've never called Omnidog Batman. Omnidog's the Joker. He just likes chaos, but he's the old like golden age joke. Okay, moving on. I got another big omnibus.
Okay.
Even though Chris told me not to.
No, I didn't tell you not to. Details matter. What I told you is that it has diminishing returns. I always like to tell people.
Just like my stock portfolio.
Jake, did you know they renumbered the pages inside so that you could do the read-along adventure and it matches the omnibus pages?
Oh, that I didn't know.
No, but I know that it's based on the hit video game trilogy.
There you go.
I got two last ones, and I have to be honest, I don't know what order to put them in. But I have X-Men Decimation, and the one I've really been waiting for, X-Men Road to Onslaught. So can I jump from Decimation into Onslaught, or do I need to read some stuff in between?
Oh, yeah, you should definitely do it in that order, too.
Yeah, especially, that's called reverse chronology. But yeah, go for it. See what happens.
100% do it that way.
Hey, we at least
I
got
call
the
it the Lazarus method,
Yeah, exactly. I still laugh about that.
That's so good.
It's so you. It's very much you.
Yeah, it's very me. Okay, what's everyone's top 3 absolute editions? Okay, if I'm allowed to pick Mr. Miracle, I'm picking Mr. Miracle, New Frontier, and Justice League World's Greatest Superheroes.
Okay, I'm looking at my collection right now. I will go with Crisis on Infinite Earths because the extras in there are just mind-boggling and great. And just seeing that there. I will say... Now you got me. Now it's a tough choice. Kingdom Come and New Frontier.
I'm gonna like it. So I don't have my absolutes to look at to remember what do I have to select from, but I would probably do.
Can I guess your 3 favorite?
You can guess them. I already have 3 in mind, but go for it.
I'm gonna say Batman Year One, Dark Knight Returns with Strikes Again specifically, and Batman and Robin: The Boy Wonder.
Horrific choices. I'm gonna.
There was a time you only wanted to collect Frank Miller Batman in absolute. You were like, I want my out of continuity Batman in absolute.
And then I did. Kingdom Come is definitely going to be in there. Swamp Thing by Len Wein, because you got to go with that unique moss-like texture on it.
Yep.
And then the last one is kind of like a toss-up in the air, but I would probably do Watchmen. Just because I love Dave Gibbons' art.
I will say this, though. Not talk about your favorite absolute in the sense of like all together. What is your favorite kind of cover? Like absolute. If you had to pick like one, not talking slipcase. Slipcase is a whole different thing. How about just the cover?
Oh my god.
That whole thing. Cover, spine, that whole thing.
So design
yeah.
of it.
I will go with it's a toss up for me between the Preacher set.
That's definitely up there for me.
The Preacher set. I love the kind of it's the sacrilege of the book,
the blasphemy,
of the book. But I love it. It's still very much on the head. And even though I did praise Swamp Thing for the uniqueness of it, there's something about Superman for all seasons. I showed that off because
the canvas.
My wife is very much into those Fourth Wing books or something like that. Well, the new one apparently just came out, and she read it within like less than 3 hours. But she was pointing out like how the particular one she got had the gilded finish to it. I said, I can be geeky too. Let me bring you Swamp Thing and the canvas feel of Superman for all seasons. But yeah, I will go for Superman for all seasons and the Preacher.
I feel like the only ones that match that would be Fourth World and Sandman.
Yeah. That's a great
Fourth World and Sandman. Sandman with like the faux leather. Fourth World looking like a mother box, but like the actual designs of those are awesome. And then lastly, maybe Planetary, just because it looks like an ancient book.
And I remember all the controversy behind Planetary because of the the gluing of the book to the spine at that point. I remember that whole thing at that point. But you're right, the feel, because that's one of those weird ones that the Absolute and the Omni, the extras are a little bit different, not too much, but the feel. You're right, the feel, that planetary Absolute. Oh, that's what sold it to me.
I think I would probably say only because of the somewhat matching spines would be the Swamp Thing by Alan Moore set.
Yeah.
Having them all lined up next to each other and they almost have a continuity behind them.
Yep.
But the front and back of them are very, very boring other than that.
So we had a foam crowbar waiting in his cart forever, was just waiting for an address. Could have asked me. A death in the Brave and the Boys. It would just be the boys. Actually, it would be and the boys, because Chris is the and, as we've established.
Yeah. Yep.
Shouts out to our friend Cohen's Comics. I'm currently reading Batman Hush, which is the reprint, just got solicited. That's big news. It makes sense that they're reprinting it, and I think everyone it gives me a reason now to make my video on choosing the Hush Absolute and the Paul Dini Omnibus over the Hush Omnibus. So I just have to figure out a way to get through the Hush Omnibus because I keep getting burnt out when I try to finish it. New Frontier for all seasons and Kingdom Come, amazing choices.
Yep.
Absolutely. I have no absolutes yet. I'm living through. Okay, Jack, what would be your first absolute though? I get a little jealous when someone mentions Absolute Crisis on Infinite Earths. I think it's been 18 years and no reprint. I can't believe that hasn't come yet. I wish I could have been in the scene and going to cons and things when they both were still alive, but at least I got mine signed by Marv.
Yeah, I got mine signed by Perez when he came to Heroes. My first Heroes Con at that point, one of my favorite pictures with the creator. I will treasure that. Treasure that as him signing in the stories he told me. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome, man. I hope we get a reprint sooner. You know what I mean? Like it's hard when they only like with George Perez, like they didn't reprint the Heroes Initiative until it was like
But even Crisis is not held up by that, so it's just a question of like I'm confident it will happen.
My thing is, if it does, they've really gone away from the extras being a separate book. Do you like that? Like in JLA Avengers, which isn't an actual absolute, and Crisis, which is? Or do you prefer when it's one big book with the extras at the back?
I think that was just unique for just those particular series, because everything else is together. I mean, one could argue then that Absolute Year One could kind of be in the same thing, but that's not the reason it was done. They're two separate presentations of the story. So there's that, but
I'm trying to see if there's any others. I think is Danger Girl 2 volumes?
You would know that, I wouldn't.
Yeah, Danger Girl is also 2 volumes.
Okay. I think it was just probably something it sounds like they were just trying out, but obviously cost effectiveness, it doesn't make sense. Economically, it doesn't make sense.
And if they're both in a slipcase, why does it matter, you know?
Correct. Another thing they've gone away from because, they've gone through the dust jackets. That became a thing. That's a big problem also when you come to like Batman Hush. That would, with the...
I don't care as much about dust jacket, but I also think I prefer no dust jacket. It's just one more. It's protected in the slipcase in my mind. Correct. And taking it in and out of the slipcase. But Jordan, you had a question?
I was going to say, pull up the last comment from David.
Okay.
Oh, right here. Yeah. Jake, you convinced me to go Absolute Hush and Dini Omnibus. Okay. I got the Omnibus about a month ago and said I will wait for the Absolute to reprint, and now it's coming in October. Thank you for the advice. You are very welcome. Yeah. I hate that I'm a hypocrite because I do have all three, but trust me, the Paul Dini Omnibus is one of my favorite Batman Omnis, and it has the better Hush stories.
Yep. The Hush story that's included in the Hush Omnibus, Hush Returns, is not good. In my opinion, it's very disjointed. It seems all over the place in my opinion. I did a reread of it last year, just that particular story, because it had been so long, and I was debating whether to get the Hush Omnibus, and I was like, nope, I don't need it just for that, and I'm good with I'm a Hush Absolute and a Paul Dini Omnibus person. Now here's the thing, before I know we gotta probably start moving along soon, going back again to Absolutes, the big controversy everyone has, spines in or spines out?
Spines out for me.
I think I'm the Maniac that it depends on the book because
Wild.
in
Just pure wildness.
okay, so the two versions are like the book portion
Yep,
and then the slipcase portion.
Yeah, so
the slipcase portion, the slipcase portion looks better as a background on film because the text is a lot bigger. I think book out looks better, but the problem is some of them don't have text on certain sides. So, like for instance,
52?
Kingdom, or Kingdom Come, for instance, right? Doesn't have the text on the back of it, so it becomes a little challenging.
You're talking about the back of the slipcase.
Yeah, the back of the slipcase.
Okay.
So if they all consistently had text, giant big text on the back of the slipcase, I would do that because to me, I guess it's different now that I moved all my absolutes onto one shelf and they're not as seen prominently, but it popped better on camera, which a lot of people don't have that problem. But the thing is, I don't think if you want them to all have text, you can't have them all the same way.
Yeah,
I think that's what I've learned.
I do the book spines out because again, my collection behind me is nothing but spines out, so that's what I like, and it works really well. Now, the one thing that is tough about that, a particular one I'm looking at right now, is Multiversity.
That's the one I said 52 by accident. That's the one I meant.
I figured that's what you meant. Yeah, Multiversity is probably the tough one, but I just keep all the spines out. It works for me, and I could just grab the book out of the slipcase.
What way does Swamp Thing need to be for the tree to line up?
You need it for the slipcase out. Actually,
Yes.
I think.
So that's the thing. I know it's crazy, but it works for me to kind of vibe out. I primarily do book out, but a couple of them, I feel like it depends on how the absolute was designed. And that's just my hot take. Probably. Oh, I got Crisis on Universe for cover price used.
Wow. Nice.
That's awesome, man. And I know the lawyers of DC and Marvel played nice. I hope they play nice. So here's my thing. I really think we'll get that reprint, and I hope that we do, but I don't see it happening in that format, primarily because that's DC's format, and they don't want to share that. So I think we could get a deluxe edition. I feel very confident that maybe even the deluxe has a slipcase, but I don't know if we would ever get. And here's the thing: I'm not one of those collectors that think just because I paid whale prices that it shouldn't get. I hope it does. I would happily, celebrate with everybody else if it does, but I don't think it's very likely that they'll reprint it in the same format that it was before.
Yeah, I want it forever. Like, really, I'm the same with Jake. Like, that's the only book I've ever paid over cover, but that had very personal meaning to me, and I was completely comfortable paying it. I would never advise, and I still don't advise people paying over cover for it. And like I said, that book meant a lot to me just to have it, and when I grew up reading it, so it wasn't just a FOMO thing. But the cool thing, what they ended up doing when they did the 5,000 print run for the Heroes Initiative for George Perez, was they included all the extras from the Absolute Edition. So there is no difference. I
didn't know
both.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have both. And so if they already have the images and things like that, to your point, a deluxe edition would maybe be an easier swallow for them than to do the Absolute Edition again.
Yeah. Heck, why don't they make an omnibus and just put in even more extras? You know what I mean? Like, that'd be the smartest thing. Why not? We'll get the last few comments and we'll get started on the weekly releases. Probably Day Tripper, since I want to read that story. I am really, really tempted by Hush and Kingdom Come. So good. I love how Chris describes that book. I stole it for my video and quoted him.
Which quote? I can't remember because I praise that book.
It makes you want to be a better person, or it makes you feel like you want to be a better person after you read it.
I've actually said that in interviews I've done, in the sense of what book has one of the most meanings for you, and I don't shy away from my geekdom in my job at that point. But Day Tripper, that is one that you can't tell people what it's about, and I really can't. I just it's looking at different points of a person's life, and that's all I say, because you have to experience for yourself. And that's one of the books, like, my wife wants me to read those Fourth Wing books, and so our agreement is when I start reading that, she gets to read. I have to pick out which one, and Day Tripper is going to be one of the ones I pick out for her. I am possibly thinking about also asking her to read Silver Surfer by Dan Slott and Mike Allred.
Oh my god, that was my
Ooh,
top
that's
Marvel book of the year.
amazing. Yep, same here. That's just
So,
man.
so I'm thinking of stuff because obviously those novels are really long. So my I don't have I have to give her an Omni at that point. I don't know if she'll survive that. But yeah, Day Tripper's a great thing.
That's awesome. I'm trying to get Jordan and Dom from the Comic Book Report to go to WonderCon with me this year because the lineup this year is Mark Waid, Jim Lee, and Dan Slott, and Todd McFarlane, which is just super random. But think of the books to get signed with that lineup, right?
No, not even the books to get signed. The amount of money just for Jim Lee, just to sign.
It's $50 for him to make eye contact with you, right?
I think if correct me if I'm wrong. Again, it's always different, but I do think like it's a higher price, but I think it's like 3 books or like it's more than just one. I think, but it's not more than 3. It depends.
So I could get my Absolute Wildcats Absolute for Tomorrow signed.
Why would you do for tomorrow?
Because I feel like it would make him happy. I don't know.
I get it.
So
it's one Absolute I will never own just because I like Jimmy Lee art, but I also can't stand the story.
Spines in always. I'd rather a slipcase even if it doesn't have text. Books out looks messy. We need a JLA Avengers by Taschen.
That might be the one time I ever get a Taschen at that point. That might be it.
That's the
would
one.
You spend the $600 for the slipcase or would you do the $200 for no slipcase?
Is that what those cost?
Yeah, bro.
Why do you think for a slipcase?
$600, bro. But it's like there's only 1,000 in the world. They only make 1,000. So
no, I don't need a slipcase that bad. I'm not that much of a.
I mean, dude, the fact that I don't get the slipcase version shows that even I have a limit. Yeah.
See, again, I have to live up to my thing. Rational buying since 1984.
I want to clip that $600. I will say that JP did look in to see if he could get me one at like a discount, but they don't sell them to other retailers. The slipcases could only be bought from Taschen directly.
Yeah,
lastly, a deluxe edition of JLA Avengers will absolutely work, and I think the most likely because it's never been a deluxe edition, right?
Yep. Trade paperback in whatever that random absolute that's not an absolute size.
Yep.
And then, dang, that's an amazing lineup. I want to go to WonderCon.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Let's get started on the bustling week.
Yeah, it's a light one. Next week, I've already made next week's stuff. Next week's a lot more happening.
Chat, can we all give Chris a thanks that without fail, he always is at least 1 week ahead on the PowerPoints. So I never have to stress about it. Just let's all give him a thank you for that because we appreciate that.
That's why I'm the and. That's fine.
Yeah. He's the bridge. So these are the releases for the week of January 26th, and it is one I am very excited about this week.
January 28th?
Well, Chris does 26 because that's the Sunday of the week. I title the videos by the Tuesday, so I guess we just need to find some consistency. I don't think anyone's ever going to comment and care, but yeah. Chat, do you want the video to be titled the Sunday of the week or the Tuesday the books come out? Let us know down below. This is your show as much as ours. And one last thing, I'm going to get rid of the OPB logo so we don't cover any of the books. Okay, let's get cracking. Absolute Mr. Miracle. Yeah. I have 2 copies shipping to me from 2 different retailers to see what came first.
Yes, exactly. Explain yourself on that one.
Yes. So I have been emailing and talking with Tom King. We're very close to getting everything lined up for our interview to celebrate this book. I love this book. It was my most anticipated release of last year, and it got pushed back. And originally, it looked like our lunar shipment was going to run a little bit late. So Jordan was nice enough to order me a copy from Amazon, paying full cover. Money. Yeah, to front the money. And I will return it to Amazon when I'm done. But luckily, the shipment came in on time. It jumped ahead of schedule to OPB. And mine is en route to me from there, which is I'm going to keep whichever one looks better, obviously. But I'm very excited. We will be doing a live stream, and OPB is kind enough. I asked him, I said, hey, can we do a giveaway for a copy of Absolute Mr. Miracle? And he goes, bro, it's Tom King. I'll give away 5 copies. So I don't know if I have time for 5 giveaways, but I'll see. I'll vibe it out. This is someone I've wanted to talk to since before I ever had a YouTube channel. So I'm pumped for this. The slipcase design is amazing.
Jake took a shot and Tom King responded. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy you get to talk to your number one creator that got you into this.
Just like Alexander Hamilton, he didn't throw away his shot.
Now I do know that this is not the cover. This is just what's still out there for the solicitation at that point. The slipcase is definitely one of those really. If you check out OPB, they've got a first look at it. I think you all do too, Jake, right?
I don't know if we've done I don't think there's an official first look video yet, but we did get a video on Instagram and post it to the Omnibuds Cafe of what it looks like. So what's really cool is that Mitch actually, the artist of this book, Mitch actually designed the slipcase and designed the Absolute. So that's so cool that they gave them creative freedom to do what they wanted to do with this book. It's basically, it looks like Scott is escaping a trap. Like a death trap. Yep. So, which fits with the tone of the book. Someone asked me, can you jump into this with no prior knowledge? I will say that it's a standalone, almost definitely out of continuity story with the beginning, middle, and end. Now, if you know who the Fourth World characters are, or you've read some, I'm not going to sit here and say you have to read all 10,000 pages of the Fourth World Omnibus in order to read this story. You do not. But there is going to be some better references and little inside jokes and things that if you have. Yeah. But it's also meant to be read on its own.
It is. This is a triple dip for me because I got the original standard hardcover. I own the deluxe, and this will be the third one, and I'll probably be either selling or just more than likely giving away my deluxe edition.
This will be my double dip because I have the deluxe, and I will 100% be upgrading to the Absolute. So.
Did you guys see me look behind me to see what versions I have and then realize I moved my non-oversized out of the rooms? I just was like, oh, look at a bunch of Marvel Omnis. I think I have a trade paperback signed by Mitch and Tom, and I think I have a standard size hardcover.
Cool. Very cool.
So he drew a little Mr. Miracle for me in it. So that's very special to me. Yeah, it was one of those ones where I brought some books for them to sign, and then I was like, dang it, I'm buying the trade paperback right here so they can sign that too.
Danger's asking, I was going to bring this up to you after chat because I noticed it. The new solicitations, the DM for X-Men Blue is not on there. So
I added what I thought was everything for the solicits, and then I guess Titan added a bunch more today. Yeah. So I have to add I'll have to add the rest of those Titan ones.
So
give some
time.
Yeah, well, we're working on it, but all the Marvel and DC and IDW and Image should be added. It's just Titan released them weirdly.
Yeah, look for probably DM the next, what do you say, Jake? Next 48 hours, it should be up there.
Yeah, no problem. My favorite Marvel graphic novel are Weapon X. Dude, isn't there a super cool gallery edition of Weapon X?
Yep.
And Wolverine, Enemy of the State, 2 absolutely brutal and compelling reads. I think the only book I've ever regretted selling is my Wolverine Omnibus Volume 1. But you know what? It'll get reprinted someday. And a Fifth of Jack will absolutely pick up your deluxe. So
it's yours.
You guys can work that out.
It's yours.
There you go.
Fifth of Jack.
Okay, moving on. Marvel 2-in-1 Epic Collection, Remembrance of Things Past.
Chris, take
I
it
know
away.
People love The Thing. I've never been crazy about The Thing, but I think that the new movie's going to change that because the actor playing The Thing is perfect.
Well, here's the thing.
The thing about The Thing.
Here's the thing. 2-in-1s are, it's all about the thing, different things about that. I got a thing here, I got a thing there. There's a thing everywhere.
Anywhere, thing there, anywhere.
Thing.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm down, I guess. This looks like a book that like Taylor would love.
It's a book only Taylor could love.
Yeah. So, cool. If you're really into The Thing, I guess get this Epic Condition. Okay. Moving on. The End. Now, Yeah, you take it away.
Yeah, this is a cool kind of series that I'm very impressed that Marvel really stuck by it in the sense of like looking at the end of teams, like the last story. If there was one last story to be told about the Marvel characters, these teams, this would be it. It's a really cool collection. As it says here, all-star creators imagine the final chapters of Marvel's greatest heroes and colossal. I mean, they're not kidding. This is a huge omnibus. Part of every story is the end. Part of every journey is the end, as Tony Stark once said. And in the shocking sages, witness the last days of all your favorite characters, including Captain America, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Hulk, Wolverine, Deadpool, Miles Morales, and Venom. The X-Men
Oh,
get
I thought you were going to list every character on this cover.
suitably epic end of the climax. The things to get really cosmic of the entire universe. I mean, if you go to the next slide, that is every single the end, and a lot of them aren't one shots. Some of them were ones. I do remember the X-Men wasn't interesting. That is a trilogy. The X-Men.
Wow.
So, but yeah, if I were to pick, I would be the standard cover because I love, to your point, like who is on that cover.
Yeah.
Let's see what cover we got. I'm checking right now. We got.
I'm gonna guess
We got the
DM
cover with. We got the cover with all the people on it. The standard.
Oh,
Okay.
so the standard. Sick.
Yeah, it's because Richard, I've seen the chat's curious about this omnibus. I'm on the fence about the end omnibus, leaning towards getting it. It's a very interesting series. As Fifth Jackson, it's only missing the Punisher at the end. Yep, Omar said that it's the only thing missing from it. It's very niche, and depending on like there's some great stuff depending on your creators, and other things are just like meh. It's just an interesting kind of put together of having all these different things where you get to see the proposed idea of if there was one last story to tell about these characters, what would it be? Doesn't mean that
So
it's the end all be all. It's not necessarily canon. It's just if they had one last story to tell, what would it be about?
Here's a fun question. If DC made an end omnibus, it would have like whatever happened to the Cape Crusader in it, and then the Superman one by Alan Moore. What else would be in the DC's end omnibus?
I think theirs would just be called Whatever Happened To, and then that fill in the blank.
Dude, the fans, the viewers need to know, Chris, where'd you cop that Green Lantern shirt?
Oh, no. I've got a much more epic Green Lantern thing. It's basically a baseball jersey, like all decked out and everything Green Lantern. Like Jake will have to say when he comes up for Heroes Con because Aaron does not.
If someone gives us a super chat right now, he'll go and change into it.
I might. It's
Chad, if you want to see it, you gotta pay to play.
She's like, you are not wearing that around me at that point. So there's like certain shirts,
bro.
There's certain
Yes.
shirts and stuff like I'm not allowed to wear around her just because she'll roll her eyes and saying,
But she's in Florida right now, so now's when Chris gets to wear his jersey.
I'm alone in my house. I can wear whatever I want in my house at that point.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
This is I've had this for a while. This is probably Hot Topic years ago. Remember when Hot Topic used to have this kind of stuff? So
it'd probably be at Box Lunch now. I feel like that's where
probably
could be
a lot of those shirts turn to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that the baseball jersey one is pretty epic.
And as you guys can see, I wore this shirt because of the Mr. Miracle absolute announcement.
And I wore whatever shirt I wanted to today. So
exactly.
It's 2 Spider-Man.
He's just going to write Joe Kelly on his Spider-Man shirt.
I'm wearing this because I'm excited that we have our new Sinestro cast in the DCU for the Lantern show, and I'm very excited.
Moving on. Spider-Man by Joe Kelly. So,
got it right here.
Remember when this omnibus was a thing like over a year ago?
I don't know anything about this.
Pepper Charm remembers.
So yeah, this is the collection, obviously, of Joe Kelly's entire run on Spider-Man. As it says, as one of the creators in the Brand New Day run, Joe Kelly created a series of memorable characters, including Clash with the Crime Bosses Hammerhead and Mr. Negative, and a romantic reunion with Black Cat. Peter's pal Harry Osborn suits up as American Son. Craven's family embarks on the grim hunt, and it's spider season. And when Peter Parker's nonstop life pits him against Baron Zemo, the results are downright savage. plus more Spidey tales as only Kelly can write them, including a righteous team-up. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and probably James in the chat will correct me. I believe Joe Kelly is coming back to take over Spider-Man after Zeb Wells' run finally ends.
I want to highlight this comment. I got way more excited when I heard Daredevil was going to be in that show. So
the
inject
early
that into my
reviews
veins.
have been surprisingly positive. If you check out Marvel Alliance coming this week, next Thursday night, 9:10 Eastern Standard Time, David and I will be reviewing the first 2 episodes because they are releasing these episodes in batches. So my guess is there are like story arcs. So the first 2 episodes are going to drop on Wednesday.
And he is coming back in April.
There we go. Thank you, James.
So what cover are we feeling, guys?
It's my least favorite Venom.
Man, I'm probably going with the standard personally.
Yeah. That Matt Groening Venom was not my favorite.
That's sick. I love the McFarlane styled spiderweb. I mean, that's kind of been the style since. But
there's a glare. I can't see what cover we got. So we'll be surprised just like you are, chat. Yeah, I'm thinking we got the standard, but I don't know. Magic Order. This is supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah, it's still ongoing. This is from Mark Miller and Olivia Coipel. So this is basically I would recommend this one for you guys because it's basically the Secret Society of Magicians, but imagine Harry Potter but R-rated. That's how I'll sell it.
Mark Miller wrote something R-rated?
I know. Imagine that. Imagine if Mark Miller got a code of Harry Potter and this is what would happen.
Sometimes I just feel like he takes his edginess a little bit too far. Where is this on the edge level? Make me a Mark Miller edge spectrum and tell me where this is. Edge me right now.
It's not wanted level edge. There are definitely moments in the series at that point. As it says, like magic meets the mob.
Curb the Patronus, Harry.
I've read the first 3 volumes of this, and this one is the first time. This is a new collection of it, putting it in library edition. So you got oversized edition collecting the first 2 volumes of the series. I've enjoyed it. I think it's an interesting take. Edge-wise, like I said, I don't think it's like wanted level edge, but I can definitely recommend it if you want to see, as it says, either magic meets the mob. I say if Mark Miller ever got a hold of the Harry Potter universe. Nice.
This was the last in the shipment that they send us for the week, so I'm excited to read it for the first time. I want to highlight this comment. We're going all out for dinner today.
Yeah,
is that a restaurant?
No. As soon as this stream is done, I'm gonna throw some ribeyes that I've been seasoning and that are vacuum sealed in the sous vide. I'm gonna sous vide them at 137 degrees for 2 hours. I'm then gonna plunge them into an ice bath for 10 minutes while I heat up avocado oil on a cast iron. And then what I did is I put some butter, some seasoning, and some garlic on the steaks when I vacuum sealed them. And it'll cook in all those juices, and then I'm gonna sear them on each side, and that is dinner tonight. We're making ribeyes. We were at the store, and the ribeyes were like, it was $16.30 a ribeye, right? And then I looked up, and above it was a better looking ribeye that said $16.03, but there's only one of it. So I go, okay, why don't I grab one of the better one that's on sale, and I'll grab 3 of the regular ones. Well, the one I grabbed was $16.03 a pound. And or for 10 ounces, so it wound up being like $40, and I didn't want to go back and put it back, so I just ate it. And I just paid for it, So.
I will not be being that fancy like y'all got near bougie ribeyes and all that stuff. I will be, after I meet up with my sister in Charlotte after the stream, I will be heading back in my bouginess at this point, since again, I get to eat what I want, so I am getting Chipotle because I got a free reward of doubling up the protein that expires today. So I will be getting my chicken burrito bowl with double protein.
Heck yeah, get those gains, man. So Magic Order is fantastic. We need Little Golden Children books by Mark Miller and Garth Ennis. That sounds edgy. I don't even know what that is.
Like the kids books that
Yeah,
have
the
the
little
gold
Oh!
frame. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those now.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got Extreme X Factor Wrecking Havoc. Jordan, Havoc's your favorite X-Men, right?
Love Havoc, brother to oh my god, I just blanked on his name.
Scott Summers, come
Thank
on.
you, Scott Summer. Gosh, dang. Yeah, absolute favorite X-Men. I've read only the first epic collection of X-Men, man. I don't know. I haven't even got there yet.
Can someone
got-
just tell me if Decimation comes before or after Road to Onslaught? I don't know how to put my X-Men
It
books in
comes
order.
It comes
After.
after, way after.
Okay.
Yeah. I can
So I
tell
can't
you
go from
that.
one to the other?
No, but you can read. You can actually. What I would suggest you do is read Decimation, then go back and read House of M.
Do I have House of M?
Nope. Not
Nope.
yet.
No, but that's how you like reading books. You like reading books out of order, so that's what I suggest. Actually, read Decimation, then go back and read X-Men by Stan Lee.
On the
There you
with my new
that's a
passion.
good one.
I'm making
And then
smoked
quit
mac
reading
and cheese.
X-Men for the rest of your life.
Dude, Bat Cato chefs it up. Also,
Smoked
chat,
mac
let
and
us know. Should Bat Cato join us on a stream someday? I told him he is invited because I think that'd be fun. So this Wild Child and Mystique have a kid. Alex Summers is running wild. X Factor must track him down, including new members. Oh, Wild Child is the name of the character.
Yes, Wild
Oh,
Child's the
okay.
name. It's kind of like what I would say, like Sabretooth in really even more crazy form, but small.
Okay.
Nice little package.
Chat, let us know. Are you going to be picking up the Wrecking Havoc Epic Collection?
Jordan's gonna be wrecking havoc
Soon. Very soon.
on that ribbon.
Reign of X. The Summers family has made a home for themselves on the moon, but now their new neighbors have moved. How can they breathe? New neighbors have moved in, and the trees are killing the children. Then the Shi'ar,
The Shi'ar.
Shi'ar Empire asked the X-Men for help, and Cyclops, Storm, and Marvel Girl answered the call. That's a lazy name. Elsewhere, the door to the vault swings open at last, and for the beings who emerge, it's been a very, very long time, two varies, since they entered, and Krakoa?
Krakoa.
Yeah.
Krakoa. And Krakoa's future is at stake when one of mutant kind's greatest threat returns. Nimrod is on. I don't even. This is. You could have told me real or fake X-Men and say Nimrod, and I would have thought that was fake.
Isn't Nimrod the name of one of the villains from Sandman? Right?
I don't remember.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, you might be. Yeah, I think you're right.
And it's a
Has
bad
nothing
one
to
too.
do.
Nothing to do with this. It kicked in.
Yep.
Krakoa's first team of elected X-Men debuts, plus thrilling tales starring Magnetum, Phantomex, and Storm.
Okay, Jake, where do you think this goes? Is it before Onslaught? After Onslaught?
Well, if
Or
it's the
Decimation?
Krakoa era, this looks like the run that just got finished, so it would be far past everything else.
There
Very
you
good.
go.
There we
Yep.
go. FIFA Jack's comment.
Just isn't that Jake's?
Alex, I'm sorry that you're late, man, but we don't forgive you. And
I do.
Chris is now Jake's tutor. Good job, Chris.
I'm more of an X-Men fan. I understand this. Jake is not.
Also, JD did ask favorite X-Men run. I can only say Stan Lee's because that's the only run I've read so far.
And I'm purposely
Wow.
collecting X-Men books,
I
but
hope
not
that changes quickly.
but not read. Jordan's like, look, I'll read more X-Men if they make more Tations. I'm like, what an elitist.
Give
Who's
me volume
overcompensating for books now?
2.
For me, it lives. I'm. It's the standard answer, but it's true. It's Claremont's run. Claremont run, and next to it, I know Claremont is not a fan. If you want Claremont, if you ever meet Chris Claremont and standing in line, and Jake will get that opportunity this year at Heroes Con, don't make the mistake of talking about his opinion on the Krakoa era. You'll be there a while; it'll be fascinating, but he does. He's not a fan.
Interesting. I didn't
What
know that.
is the most random Chris Claremont X-Men omnibus I could bring for him to sign? Like the most hilariously obscure.
I don't think I would call it obscure. It just like I would be like some random volume at that point. I mean, Extreme X-Men could be random. It's definitely not top of my list of best Claremont runs.
Do you think Chris Claremont would sign my Tashin?
No.
I don't know. I've never put something in front of a creator that's not done by them. Now, I do know people sometimes, like, they will put books in front of them, like art books or things like that, if there's different things, like they've had an influence on the character and things like that. But yeah. Extreme X-Men, that would be random. But again, not my favorite Claremont run. But I own it because it's just wacky is most unlikely.
Chris does not have a Discord.
I don't. Sorry. It's one of the few social medias that I've dabbled in, so technically I do have one, but I don't use it and I don't go into it, so that's why I don't talk about it.
He doesn't join our Discord.
I think I am in your Discord, maybe. I'm not sure, though.
Heck yeah.
That's all that matters to us.
No,
okay.
Now that I think about it, I'm not. Sorry. I think because when the link I tried to use one time was expired and I didn't want to ask for it again. So
while I gear up to send Chris the Discord link right now.
You can send it. I ain't doing it.
No,
it was a one done.
I want to get Chris to sign my Claremont. I'm not even going to be in it. I want to get Chris to sign my Claremont Lean Omnibus Volume 2. Be very nice to him. Oh, yeah, that would be.
We have joked. Yeah. We have joked that we want Omar to sign our Deluxe Year 2. And I want Jess to sign my copy of Naughty and Nice.
No, you should get Omar to sign the Extremity Near Mint Condition edition.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And shouts out, after this, I'm finishing Supergirl for book club.
Hey.
Chris, if you're free tomorrow, you can join the Brave and the Boys book club. We're doing Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which I'm sure you've read.
Many times. We even talked
and
about it.
I know that your family's not in town. I know that you're ignoring your dog. And it gives you a reason. It gives you a reason to wear your Green Lantern jersey.
Unfortunately, I truly have already committed to a stream already at that point, my friend.
You didn't even ask what time it was.
You don't even know what time it is.
Because I really try not to cast more than once a day. It is very rare when I do that because
It's not live on YouTube. It's just on the Discord.
That involves me going on Discord, and I'm not going on Discord.
Okay, yeah, there you go, chat. Chris hates book club.
I don't remember me saying that. I just said I just don't want another stream. I don't want another social media I've got to keep track of.
I did book club with Chris before Jake.
He did. He did. That's true.
Been waiting for an absolute Supergirl announcement.
Not clicking the link.
Chris.
Jerk. I have 2 issues left for book club. Yeah, Jordan, how deep are you into Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow? Oh, wait, you finished it.
Yeah, I started and finished it in one day.
I was going to read it, but which I'm going to read it tonight, but I started reading Penguin and Sheriff of Babylon. So, and Sheriff of Babylon is dense, bro. I'm 3 issues in and I'm so confused. And I'm just like, man, it sounds like he had a rough 5 months when he was there.
When you gave me the list, it was never going to be a question of the first one you need to read is that.
Yeah. Penguin, I'm really liking Penguin so far, though. Like, I love how he starts at like in the completely different place from where you normally expect the Penguin to be, and the whole book is him crawling his way back. You know. And hot take for Jim Lee, All-Star Batman and Robin has the best Jim Lee art. Hush is up there too. You know, I will say that's the only absolute I have with like a 7-page fold-out spread. So
terrible story though, but yeah.
I mean, that's an understatement. So
let's go through and say what we think our pick of the week is.
I think it's very obvious.
The end?
For the cover, maybe.
Jordan's is Spider-Man by Joe Kelly.
That cover looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty darn good looking Spider-Man.
Chris's is the 2-in-1 Thing presents.
Oh,
it
yeah.
Is not. I only own 1 or 2 epics in my entire collection. More because of their gap fillers.
Jake, show our pick of the week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolute Mr. Miracle. So be on the lookout for our overview if Jordan comes over on Tuesday, and be on the lookout for our the interview where we're giving away up to 5 copies courtesy of Organic Price Books. Everyone, thank you so much. Guys, you have anything to plug before we call it a day?
Plug all your things, Jordan. Every one of them.
Me. That's about it.
Well, as you guys know, we are having the next Brave and the Boys book club in our Discord, which should be linked. Feel free to join. You can either be on camera or you can be just in the chat with text, whichever you feel comfortable with. It is not streamed on YouTube, so you don't have to worry about, if you're you're shy or whatever. We just want everyone to come, and everyone has value when they talk about what they like about comics or dislike. We're going to have one person in it who said he wasn't going to join because he actually hates Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And I said, you know what, man, I'm open for you to still be there and share your opinion because that helps us have a discourse. I don't want just an echo chamber of everyone saying they love it. It'll be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So what is that, 10 p.m. in Eastern Time?
That's not how time
4
works.
p.m., right? 4
There
p.m.
you go.
Eastern Standard Time. There we go. Alex, only be on camera if you fix your webcam issue, bro. It looked like it was inside a sock drawer last time, man.
Jeez. Well, you can find
I like
me
how
on
he
all the
assumes it's Gianni that hates it. I don't know how Gianni. I know he hates Jenny Sparks, but no, it is our friend Cieto who hates Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and that is just because he is a fiercely passionate Supergirl fan and does not like the specific characterization in that book.
That's okay. That's okay.
And here's Chris of the Geekverse Podcast Network.
Yep, you can find me on all the socials at Chris Balga, apparently outside of Discord, and Jake's going to probably try to guilt me into it, but not happening. Yeah, you can catch me live on the Geekverse YouTube podcast channel every Thursday night, except for this one. We took this week off because news was terrible, didn't exist really, but we will be reviewing next week the first 2 episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, 9/10 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday nights, and you can check the audio feeds the next day by searching for Marvel Alliance.
From what I know, most people prefer to hear your voice and not see your face, right?
I'm
just kidding.
I don't have a vain enough opinion of myself to even know how to say like sure, maybe at that point.
And on that note,
I prefer both personally.
Our friend Top Gun used to pop in just for the ASMR effects of my voice. So,
well, we want to thank the chat. We want to thank all of you for being awesome. We want to thank Organic Price Books, and everyone keep reading and stay. I almost clicked the wrong button. Oh my God, that was a hot